Hello, my name is Jose Luis Arriola, and I will be explaining what California Alternative Assessment means and what it is. For this video, I will be explaining what CAA, which stands for California Alternative Assessment. The California Alternative Assessment is a statewide alternative assessment for students who have an IEP in place. Students who have an IEP are students who have cognitive disability. In other words, instead of taking the Smart Balance summative assessment for ELA, mathematics, or science, they will be taking the alternative assessment. Students from grades 3rd to 8th grade and 11th grade are the only students eligible to take the CAA. Teachers or professionals who administer this test are trained professionals. They're most likely to be individuals of those teachers that have the student with the IEP. The assessment is given to them on one-on-one. Depending on their IEP, the modifications for those students might be enlarging touch keypads, enlarging font. As we see a 3rd grade mathematical practice test, you can tell the difference. There's more shapes, bigger font, as for the CASP test as well. Here I'll provide an example of an administration manual. This is what the teacher follows through this California Alternative Assessment test. There's a stage column which states that what type of question they will be asking. If you notice, the PT stands for the performance task. The next column is the number. Then we have the administration script, which the teacher will state to the student. For example, where it says, say, which symbol makes the comparison true? Now, if the student is visually impaired, there's also an alternative text for students who are with visual impaired. And the teacher will then describe to the student what they are looking at and have them try to answer the question. Description of importance. The CAA is important because it is a modified version of the CASP. Students who have a cognitive disability are given modification so they can have a fair opportunity of completing the state's assessment. These modifications are connected to students' IEPs and modifications that are put in place for these students who have cognitive and or learning disabilities. Which type of educators does this affect? Teachers from 3rd grade through 11th grade are teachers who are the types that are affected. Educators with the students who have a specific IEP should be aware of this assessment, and is something that should be discussed during their IEP meetings. Modification should be ensured prior to administering the assessment. Some important facts. Modifications can be combined, and it is important to know that the administrator of the CAA can use their professional judgment to ensure that these modifications meet the student's IEP plan. The CAA test is also stage adaptive. This means that based on the questions, the students respond correctly and incorrectly will affect the amount of questions that are asked. It is also important to keep in mind that when deciding who will take the California Alternative Assessment, it is for students who have a learning cognitive disability. Students who have poor academic performance, disruptive behavior, poor attendance, to name a few, are not students who need to take the California Alternative Assessment. They need to be students who have a cognitive or learning disability. Thank you for watching my video. Here's my citation. You can find more information regarding the CAA on California Alternative, about California Alternative Assessment on www.casps.org administration about CAA. Thank you.